going through some of those stories and some of the others that have caught our attention this morning. Delighted to say, self-help expert, Peace Gym organiser, Jenny Critchlow is back with us on BBC CWR this morning. Morning, Jenny.
Morning, Phil. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. Thanks very much indeed. Yourself?
Yeah, really well, thank you. Happy to chat.
Good to hear. That's good. We're going to start with Donald Trump. There's breaking news overnight that the President of the United States has tested positive for coronavirus. It's obviously late for the printed papers, but all their online editions will be catching up with this now.
Yeah, I'm on the online editions, and the front pages on nearly every paper, I think, is that Trump has tested positive and also announced it on Twitter, which is one of his nice moves that he does. And I think, for me, probably a really good move to turn themselves into victims. You know, if they're victims and we've got COVID and we're going to be seen to do the right thing, they can be a martyr. And the worry for me, who would rather not see him personally in the White House, is that we get behind a victim. We love victims. We love martyrs, and we want to be the heroes that rescue them. And so, yeah, this is an interesting morning looking at what he put.
There is, and again, we can't ignore the fact we're in an election campaign, can we, in the United States? They're just 33 days away from going to the polls there. We saw the upturn, didn't we, in love for Boris Johnson when he contracted coronavirus. People, the newspaper front pages were all kind of, he's at work for you, he's doing this for you now, pray for him. When he had that sort of dodgy weekend, you've got to wonder how the pro-Trump press will potentially use this, won't they, over the next few weeks to garner sympathy for the president in the run-up to the election.
Yeah, I mean, it brings out our inner nurturer. It just does. And we want to be seen as the ones that rescue people and the ones that are kind to people. And if someone's in trouble, it brings up this amazing emotion of, as you say, empathy and sympathy. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
Well, we've got a US politics expert on the programme in the next 10 minutes. And he will, I'm sure, give us some analysis for us. Well, he's supposed to be giving a big campaign convention speech tonight in Florida. He's clearly not going to be able to do that. So big question marks over the remaining two debates as well that he's supposed to have with Joe Biden. So we'll get some answers on that for you before 8 o'clock, hopefully. Going on to The Guardian this morning, and this is something you made reference to in a tweet I know you posted up about an hour ago, Jenny, how to take the perfect breath.
I know. I mean, obviously, we are all quite good at breathing. We've been doing it since we were born. So we all just think, why would we need to be taught how to breathe? But this is a great article learning about how, if we learn to breathe deeply and slowly, then it's really good for reducing our stress and our anxiety, even high blood pressure, apparently, because it reduces the stress hormones of cortisol and noradrenaline. But it's also something I teach a lot, is that one of the first things you do learning meditation is to concentrate on your breath, because when you're concentrating on something that's present, you can't think, and your thoughts are what causes so much of your stress. Your thoughts about stuff, your thoughts about Trump.
Yes. I would imagine thinking about Donald Trump will make anybody stress, but yeah, so the perfect breath, then, Jenny, using what you know from your walk of life, and using what's been published in The Guardian today. How would you describe to people? Is there a way we could actually practice the perfect breath right now on the air for the benefit of our listeners?
Oh, absolutely. Pop your hands over your tummy, where your tummy button is, so that your fingertips are touching, and breathe so that your tummy pushes out rather than your chest, and your fingertips part. And that takes your breath all the way down through your lungs, so you're using the entirety of your lung surface, and you're pushing down beautifully on your diaphragm, which needs lots of nice exercise to be supple, and you're taking your breath all the way down into your abdomen, and that's your perfect breath. In fact, if you've ever watched a little baby breathe, they breathe like that. Their chest doesn't move, their tummy moves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Have a look.
Okay. Oh, you know what? That's a great idea. Good stuff.
Don't peer into loads of babies' cots in the supermarket. That'll look odd.
Right. Can I just look at your baby's breathing, please? You weirdo. Okay. But if we've learned nothing else from this morning, we've learned how to breathe, and that, Jenny's, a good thing. Cocktail this morning, and a picture you picked up here about, how creative we've been.
We We really have. It's an article about how us Brits are working from home, but in bed, on the toilet, in the bath, and I just saw the headline. Thought, I just love humans so much. We're so creative. We'll adapt. We'll do anything new. I mean, well, you know how we say you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Well, now we don't know what's going on behind closed Zoom accounts. You know, if your colleague has got their camera and their microphone off, beware. I mean, you could be on the loo for all I know right now, Phil. We haven't got a clue what everyone's doing. We're just chatting.
How can you tell?
I know, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Rumbled. Okay.
Rumbled, yeah, sorry, Phil.
Okay, so yeah, we've been very, very creative indeed. I just want to pick up another story. You picked up. This is from the Daily Telegraph, as opposed to the Covtel. And a couple of years ago, we were hearing, weren't we, about the Scandinavian huggy,
higgy, yeah,
lifestyle, and being wrapped up and being warm and being cuddly and having lots of sort of baggy clothing and being relaxed at home, and how that gave you a sense of well-being. Well, there's a kind of a new version of this, but it's Dutch now.
It is. It's a new buzzword. It's called Nixon, and it's the Dutch art of doing nothing. And we should all move to like Sweden or Denmark or somewhere. It sounds great. So apparently there's a name for doing nothing and wondering, which is called Nixon. And it's an article about how learning to let your mind wander is one of the most relaxing things we can do. But actually, before screens, we were doing this a lot anyway. We just didn't really realise. I'm not knocking screens, but we have this idea that we have to be entertained all the time. And in that moment of wondering and not thinking, again, same with the breath, the not thinking, there's not only a great relaxation for the body, but the amazing bit of us, the creative bit of us that we think of new ideas comes from that space. We never actually think of a new idea. That's impossible. New ideas arise from this place of deep peace, if you like, of wondering. I call it the Harry Potter effect because J.K. Rowling talks about that. She was staring out the window of a train and she says, her words, Harry Potter just sort of strolled into my mind, if you like. In other words, this idea emerged. So then she did lots of work around it and lots of thought, but new ideas, creativity emerges from the nothingness that's underneath the thought, the nothingness that's underneath the doing. And so, yeah, there's loads of reasons why doing nothing and letting things sort of just amble in front of you is really useful for us as humans.
Nixon, spelled Niksen, if you want to look
that up. Yeah. It's got a name. I'm going to name my house Nixon. That sounds great.
Good. All right. Just don't spell it with an X, and people start thinking you've got sympathies for the former impeached president now. But okay, good stuff. Jenny, we've learned how to breathe. We've learned how to do nothing. You've been incredibly useful to us over the last 7 or 8 minutes. Thank you for coming on this one. Have a good weekend. Thank you.
Thanks, Phil. Bye-bye.
Jenny Critchlow from Claverton, self-help expert, runs the Peace Gym. Her view on the newspapers this morning, and more for you in just a moment. On that breaking news of the morning, Donald Trump, the President of the United States, testing positive for coronavirus. BBC